So apparently, Katy Johnson, the woman who falsely accused President Donald Trump of raping her when she was 13, is now facing criminal charges for fraud, theft, and exploitation of an elderly person. And I've noticed a lot of people are tagging me in this. Now, first of all, is this true? No, I will explain. I understand that a lot of people are very annoyed with seeing this same case being used over and over to push allegations on Donald Trump. And people are constantly using this headline as definitive proof that he raped a little 13-year-old girl. And because of it, someone created a viral post to now flip the script and have allegations against Katy Johnson. Now, first things first, let's get into the allegations against Katy Johnson, because when I Googled this, the only places that was coming up was social media. Obviously, if you Google an allegation and it's only coming up on social media, that's because someone created a post, they fabricated a post, and it went viral. But now here's the thing about post going viral, and also if you Google it, when something goes viral and there's something that links information together, even if it doesn't actually link it together, then it will show up on Google's AI as if it's an actual thing that happened. So if you Google that same exact information, this is what you're going to find on Google AI. Current reports from March 2026 indicate that a woman named Katy Johnson, who previously accused Donald Trump of SA, is indeed facing various felony charges, including fraud, theft, and exploitation of an elderly person. And then it goes on to explain Katy Johnson and her ties with Donald Trump and Epstein, the allegations. And then it goes on to the exploitation accusations. She's accused of knowingly making unauthorized use of the funds and assets of an elderly person while entrusted with power of attorney, allegedly converting approximately $75,000 for personal use. Prior convictions show that Johnson previously served 4 years in prison after being convicted on perjury charges in 2019. And then you see how it continues and goes right back to now the original 13-year-old allegations, blah, blah, blah. But here's why it's important to click on those little links that they be having. Because if you notice, there's little links right there. You can click on them. That one takes you to a viral Facebook post. This one takes you to the allegations against Trump, the article about it. Then if you click on the link next to the fraud one, it takes you to this article. This article describes Attorney General Alan Wilson announces Camden woman charged with stealing thousands from a vulnerable adult. South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson announced that his office's vulnerable adults and Medicaid provider fraud unit has arrested a Janie C. Johnson, 74 years old, of Camden, for exploitation of a vulnerable adult and breach of trust with fraudulent intent, value $10,000 or more. Johnson was booked into the Alvin S. Glenn Detention Center on January 3rd, 2025. An investigation, blah, 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 whatever. As you can see, Johnson is alleged to have knowingly made unlawful authorization and use, you see the $75,000, exploitation of an elderly person. And guess what? This Janie C. Johnson has no connection to Katy Johnson. After looking it up on other sources, I came to find the statement that you post mix some real events with claims that currently have no verified evidence. Of course, we already know the accusations against Donald Trump. And as we constantly keep saying, the case was dismissed. And even a second version of the lawsuit was later withdrawn by the plaintiff before it went to court, because the case never went to trial. The allegations were never proven in court. And because of this constantly floating around, this is why people are now making up things about Katy Taylor Johnson, whatever her name is, Al Taylor, whatever. But the fact behind that case is that the lawsuit itself, yes, it was real. Was it dismissed? It was dismissed. It was withdrawn. No court ever ruled the allegation to be true or false. And as far as the viral social media post about Katy Johnson now going to jail for fraud and theft and exploitation of an elderly, there's no credible reporting of that. Like, we can stick to the facts. Let's not start making up shit. Y'all know I cannot stand that. I'm not gonna make up shit shit just to try to make people look good. As you see, when I pulled up that article about somebody completely different, a Katy Johnson, nobody connected to Katy Johnson. The results, search results for similar charges only show different people named Johnson involved in unrelated financial exploitation cases. So this, as much as y'all may want it to be true, this is not true. We don't need to start making up lies and spreading rumors all because we don't like that the Dems keep pushing this stupid ass allegation on Donald Trump when we already know the facts. And I hope that this also taught you, stop just screenshotting shit from Google's AI and thinking that this backs your argument or proves it, because I quite literally just read this entire article to you and debunked the entire thing. All this information was AI generated and put together because of viral social media posts. But this actually doesn't even go together. But if you were to just screenshot this, somebody would go, oh yeah, she's most definitely going to jail for that. When in fact, it's an entire article about somebody who's not even her, but because the last name is similar, they're tying the articles together. That's why you can't always trust AI or Google.